Want to add a sense of immersion to your next adventure? Consider cantrip candles. These 100% soy wax fantasy-themed candles are the perfect way to enhance your tabletop and gaming experience. My favorite one to fit the season is Summer Plains. With notes of orange blossom, freshly cut grass, and hemp, this is the perfect pairing for your Feywild adventures this summer. Shop their wares at cantripcandles.com. Thank you to the folks at Occupied Hex for supporting this campaign. Occupied Hex is an independent tabletop role-playing game publisher based in Denver, Colorado. Occupied Hex are best known for their games such as Streets, Valley Heat, and of course, the system we're using today, Duster. Check them out at the links in the episode description below. Thank you to this week's sponsor, Viridian Gaming. With over 1,500 sets of dice from popular brands like Q Workshop, Chessex, and HD, you're sure to find something you'll love. Viridian ships 5 days a week from their shop in Syracuse, New York, and since they're incredibly affordable, their metal dice only cost around $20 and they're still excellent quality. I can promise you that it's impossible not to end up with at least a few sets from them. I already have 2 and a third is in the mail right now. Check them out at viridiangaming.com or through the link below.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Old Rush, a Duster campaign. I'm your GM, Ifiwadiwe, and surrounding me at this digital table are my amazing friends who will introduce themselves and who they're playing right now.
Hi, I am Johnny Stanton, and I'm playing the resident creepy little guy, Spade, who's the rambler of the group.
What's up, everyone? I'm Owen Bones. I'm playing Fish, a sensitive, gentle fellow who's a little bit interested in learning about the tech that's left out in the wasteland. He might be starting to finally make friends.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annika, and I am playing Pug, who's just a big, dumb, lovable idiot. And this is my cat, Himbo, and he's got diarrhea.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. I'm Christina Ariel, and I will be playing Jinx, who is your southern girl person witch-like lady. She makes storms.
Ooh. Well, speaking of storms, I know you like to recap up a storm, Christina. So do you want to give us our episode 2 recap before we jump right into it?
Yes, because I just asked you what happened, and I think I got it this time. Okay, so previously on this show, we went to this town and there was a talent show, and we all got up on the stage and we did the talent show. And so Pug got up and did a kite 5, and it was really, really funny, and everybody loved it. It was really, really great. So Fish had already gone in and prepared everybody and was like, oh, like you're going to start to like this. And they sewed some magic throughout it that made everybody think it was really, really good. And it really was actually good, so we didn't actually have to pretend that much. But Ndidi had a record of winning. Okay, so there's this guy Ndidi, and he's kind of a bad guy, but we haven't gotten quite there yet. But he just has a very intimidating type presence. So Ndidi was this dude who goes up and he does his performance, and he's like, oh, I'm playing bongos, but that's not what he sang, but that's what he did. And so he's going up you guys can't beat me, and we're like, oh, we're big fish, we can. And so then, okay, so then Spade gets up there and plays the ukulele. And it's and it's really, really good. And did a song that goes don't, but instead of violins, it was a ukulele. And then Jinx sang a song, they sang and stuff together, and then they won the whole thing. You know what? It was just like Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease too. They won the entire talent show by themselves, even though they didn't necessarily intend to, and that wasn't the beginning plan. So anyway, we go out, and then we get followed when we're finally at our breakaway, and it's Ndidi, and it's these 2 dudes, and it's a gun, and what was he? Oh, a shooter. And so they go and they follow us. We fight them. We're like, bop, 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 knock them all out. We get away, but my boo-boo Pug got hurt a little bit, but we're gonna work on that. Even though she's the healer, we can do what we can do. And anyway, we're on to the next part of the mission.
Thank you for that. Now, where we left off was you finding out that your driver is a part of a mercenary group, and they've showed up with many weapons and reinforcements, and y'all agreed to storm the floodlands together. What you don't know is what lays before you, and maybe or maybe not. You'll learn that right now. Because as we come back, y'all are already on the road, driving in a caravan of ragtag repurposed military vehicles. The affiliation for once they were a part of have since been shredded away with time. This Humvee is extremely loud as this engine really sounds like a post-apocalyptic multi-year-old engine, and you sit in the back as you have the lady from before, who you now know is named Felicia, driving, and the driver, who you now know whose name is Ace, is driving along the coast. So as you sit there in this back vehicle, in the back of this Humvee that fits everyone in the party, it's kind of been gutted and retrofitted to fit more people. You're chugging along. You smell the air of the sea. For some of you, this may be new. You've never smelt this salty air and seen this large mass of water, and you kind of feel the weight of opportunity in front of you as you kind of expand past your horizons. And Ace sits there, kind of trying to make conversation, just tell you what he's all about. He says, so we're all a part of the Coastal Accord. It's a mercenary group. We pretty much take money from anyone to do what anyone needs. But this is the first time we've done something for our own needs. You see, that Bennett fellow, he might have told you about this cache as if it was his idea, but it was actually something that was leaked out to most groups of scavvers and other outfits from all across the land. It's kind of been buzzed about because everyone just kind of wanted a piece of it. Someone brought a piece of this old tech to a trading post and asked about it, and whispers turned to shouts, turned to messengers leaving messages all across, and you weren't about to be the only people entering that place. So it doesn't surprise me that this scaff guys went ahead and sent people to hit all of Bennett's checkpoints. So we're really gonna have to buckle up and be ready. We're really gonna have to, get y'all trained up.
I have two questions. First of all, out of character, you said that the engine is super loud, so did he yell all of that, or did he say that all quietly and we're all just like, sorry, what?
Oh yeah, no, he's yelling that, but casually talking. For the sake of comfortability of watching this, I didn't shout it out, but he is definitely shouting this information out to the rest of you. And you don't.
You're all doing that thing when someone's talking to you in a club, and you're like trying to emote the way that they want. You're like,
yeah, a lot of head nods.
Yeah, I do have a question in character though. So Pug wants to go. Do we know who found this originally? It seems like there's a lot of conversations around it being found and it kind of trickling down, percolating down. But
yeah, we heard something about like a cult that worships it or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything out here, whispers, rumors, word gets around, but that's the one consistent thing. Most people stay out of the floodlands because, you have the children of Cain over there. They want there. And then there's a whole group of scavvers called the Chosen who worship tech and think that it was us who betrayed the tech, and that's what brought upon the apocalypse or whatever, the radiation and sun rays do to your brain to make you think that out here. So yeah, I no one knows how word got out, but it just did, and we're all chasing it. And there's been stories of people being able to sneak out with some tech, but there's been a lot of stories of folks not being able to sneak out with some tech.
You said something about the children of Cain, but you didn't really specify what their whole deal is.
Well, the children of Cain are just they're a scaver gang who somehow were able to get their claws into the floodlands first, and they're kind of the opposite of the Chosen, where they want anyone to keep their hands off of tech at all. They've taken it upon themselves to keep the tech out of prying hands. And so they've sat there and basically killed anyone on sight.
I think Pug is going to try to make, I don't know exactly our seating arrangement, but Pug is going to try to kind of like make meaningful eye contact with like Spade and Fish, and then ask Ace. Are we talking to Ace or Felicia?
Ace. Felicia's driving.
Ace. Felicia's driving. Pug is gonna ask, how do you feel about people that would do something like worship tech? Just mostly, I don't want them to be like, cool, yeah, let's go join them. So I want to know. I kind of just want to know where Ace is. Pro tech, anti tech, just pro money.
Oh, this is a question for Ace. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, that changed from in character to out of character.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean,
how do you feel? How you doing, Ace?
Here's the thing. In classic mercenary fashion, I just kind of stay neutral. I'm not, for or against it. I simply don't understand it. That's the old Granddad's problem. I've never been able to touch or play with it. If I have it, I'm usually handing it off. I don't want any part of it. The only thing I know well is guns, cars, and everything in between that. So, am I gonna be worshiping this tech we find? Hell no. I'm about to sell that shit. Make some money. Hell. Maybe we even get out of it.
I do have a question for Ace. Is any of this tech notable, useful, or are people just sort of coming in trying to take it and get rich off of it?
Okay. I don't really know how to quantify what is useful as far as like tech goes, since I do not know how it works, or for the most part, what it is. But, some of the people who are obsessed with the old Granddads and all that tech bullshit said that the big thing that came to the marketplace, the trading post that everyone was these big slabs of glassy metal. They said it used to be something called a solar panel. And so they're real into that. And then some people have brought things kind of like that boppy dop that dude has, just a little bit. And some people have found ways to use that solar panel to charge things like the boppy dops and other different kind of old tech. That's probably why it's so powerful, because if you're able to power old tech, who knows what else you'll be able to power? What other old tech?
Yeah, speaking of power, and this boppy dup that I have, it's running pretty low. You don't have anything to power it, do you?
No.
I mean, just like off chance, no.
That's
okay.
That whoever brought those solar panels, he's or she or they are gone. They like that. The amount of money that you get from something like that, you're not messing around with the riffraff.
Yeah, if you can get like a name, for that person, that'd be great. Because I want to charge up so I can start listening to my my Usher, to my Britney Spears again. It'd be great.
All the classics, all the classic hits, all the dinosaur.
I mean, it's the golden oldies. It's the golden oldies, really.
Okay, I recognize none of the names you've said, but I do hope you find your Britney weapon or something or sorts.
But if I go without my hoobastank for too long, it's just not gonna.
Okay, now you're just making up words.
Maybe I am. Maybe they did. I mean, words are just made up.
Yeah. Who would
Have
listen?
you ever heard of a location called Lincoln Park? We're trying to find.
No.
They reanimated something.
Are y'all from here? Because you're saying things I've never heard before. The Lincoln Park.
Obviously not. You've been driving us for a couple hundred miles at this point.
Yeah. No. There's no hoobastanks, no Lincoln Parks.
I've got one other question. How likely are we to run into either the Children of Cain or the Chosen? Are they like crawling all over the place? Is one more common than the other?
We are storming the Children of Cain's headquarters. We're the likely 1,000%. Chosen will probably be somewhere near, trying to either vulture up after the battle, or they could be constantly at war. You're talking about two scaver outfits at odds? Yeah. Yeah, we might be interrupting some of their fighting. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What I was telling you is we're not the only outfit going towards this place.
I do have a question. At any point, were these two scaver units maybe working together, or have they always been at odds?
I mean, legend has it that the two heads of these scaver units were friends, but they didn't know about each other's intentions. One wanted to destroy and guard tech, and the other wanted to worship it. And, upon finding their first piece of tech, upon finally planting their flag in what is now the Floodlands, that's when the schism happened. You had the Children of Cain, ran by Cain, and you have the Chosen.
So from what it seems like, there's also a third faction that just wants to blow it up, though. Like, is that what Scaff wants, or is he with the Scavers?
I mean, it's hard to say at this point. You're right, like this is important in so many different ways, right? You have the philosophy that people hold towards old tech in this world, where they fear it and want to destroy it, or the other side of it, where they want to worship it, or the other side of it, which honestly is my favorite part, the money within it. Either way, there's power to be held in it. So there's no telling what Scaff wants. I mean, did he give you any clues when you spoke to him?
I mean, he was definitely trying to get us to not trust Bennett Peabody as well. But I think he was specifically trying to make sure that we went out and destroyed it, or he just didn't want us to go after it at all.
Huh.
It seemed a little counterintuitive to what he wanted. He was like trying to be like, look out for the best for us, but we didn't trust that.
Upon hearing that, Ace kind of rubs his temples a bit and thinks on it and goes, well, you said he wanted you to destroy it, right?
Pretty much, or just to leave it be.
Well, the Children of Cain aren't destroying the tech. They're sitting on it, guarding it. So,
and the Chosen want to protect it and keep it for themselves. So I mean, seems to just be a third faction,
a third nuclear option, where he doesn't want it to simply exist at all.
Let's just go in and wild card. We'll go in, we'll storm the gates, we'll get to the tech, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do there. I think
we'll just flip a 3-sided coin.
We can just look at who, because like, and this is Pug talking, here's the thing I'm trying to explain. She's like trying to explain to Ace, probably context he doesn't care about. Here's the thing. Bennett seemed very easy to kill. Scaff seemed less easy to kill. So I'm inclined to go on Scaff's side because that's a pretty, I trust the guy that's harder to kill. But that being said, who can say? We're going to show up. We're going to see a group of guys. We're going to see another group of guys. Whichever group of guys seems like more fun, then that's probably what we're going to want to do. Right, guys?
Are we trying to make friends, or are we trying to make money?
Both, ideally.
Yeah. I think we're just trying to... I'm just here to, probably kill the people that knocked me out, and if other people have to die in the process, that's...
Yeah, do we know what Ndidi's deal was? Remind us, did he want... was he just mad at us for beating him in the talent show, or...
Ndidi worked for Scaff.
Yeah.
He worked for Scaff, okay.
Look, I mean, here's where you stand from where I'm sitting in this loud Humvee, as he yells. You have three sides of a faction that exist in this world as parts of the boots on the ground parts of this world who are fighting over this, who don't know what to do with it. Then you have someone like Bennett, who is not of this world. He's rich. He's of the upper crust, those folks who look down on us. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you serve, because you'd be serving someone else. I think what it all comes down to, you do what you want. which is what we're all about here at the Coastal Accord. We want to do things however we see fit. We're mercenaries, but we don't take jobs that we think go against our morals. Now, I'm not asking you to join us, but as a part of this mission, you will get your fair share. And when you have that, if things go the way that I'm hoping, it's going to be enough to make whatever decision you want in your life.
I'm gonna lean over to Fish and say, "This guy just seems so like cool and like aloof and kind of mysterious. Like I'm trying to get what his vibe is, but there's just something magnetic about him. I don't know what to say."
Hey man, you look pretty cool too when you were one knee
You're making
up
it
on
weird.
the truck.
Never mind. You know what? You're making it weird. Let's.
Sorry.
I will say, I think what Ace just said really resonates with Pug, and Pug is kind of going to kind of hold eye contact with Ace and just go, I can't speak for everyone else, but I don't want to go back to having to answer to the rich people that have no idea what our lives are actually like and what it's like out here. I think we should blow that shit up. We'll make a decision when we get there, but I'm not going back.
I kind of want to. Let's search for a fourth option. Like there's worship it, which it doesn't sound like any of us besides maybe Fish wants to do.
Down for whatever.
The blow it up option, which is what Scath wants to do, and then there's the grab it and sell it option, which is what it seems like the children of the Cane would want to do themselves. It's what Bennett wants to do. I don't know why Bennett just doesn't work with the children of Cane, but like, what's the fourth option that we can kind of get out of this?
Sell, blow up, worship.
Independently sell it, and then we run away.
Sell it to somebody not named Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Then we
concerned.
get the money and we run off.
Is there a I don't think I would know that. Never mind. I'm trying to figure out if Pug would be, because like Annika the player is like, oh man, I don't think people should have like solar power, especially not like rich people that have all of this knowledge. But I don't know if Pug would know enough to be worried about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like, solar power.
I think we could do the fourth option is doing a little bit of all three. I'll take care of the worshiping. All I need is just to get my hands on a little bit. We can't blow it all up. You guys can blow the rest up, and then we can run away and also get rich, right? I don't see the problem.
And look,
Valid point.
everyone's making valid points, but like I said, everyone gets their fair share. So you could do whatever you want with your share. I don't need to be a part of any discussions about what to do because I know what I'm gonna do with my share. Y'all are all each getting your own fair share. I mean, it seems like y'all might be pulling it together, but that's y'all. Just remember, that's y'all plan. My plan is I'm keeping my share. Y'all can pool it together. That's y'all plan. As long
What
as
are you
we're clear
gonna
on
do
that.
with it?
Sell it, baby.
No, I mean, what do you do with your share of the money? What are you gonna do?
Oh man, definitely get out of this part of town. I mean, I've been I've been in the Rotted West a long time, so I might see what they got over there on the Southlands. I might just travel around. I might see what's going on with some of these weird ass rich people parties. And I'm really
Who told you our business?
I don't know. I'm just saying,
The
Well,
one
this-
movie that survived was Eyes Wide Shut. That's like the cultural touchstone.
You can't
The
tell me that.
lead song of the Southlands is Freak a Leak. It somehow survived.
Look, I'm just saying, there's no way you got that much money. You ain't doing some weird stuff behind closed doors, and I'm about to find out. So that's my mission. Y'all can do whatever y'all want, but I know what I'm doing, what I'm gonna do.
I do weird shit without that much money in front of open doors. So honestly, I cannot conceptualize.
All right, well, I guess we just built different. And at that time, you see, you guys everyone kind of pulls off of the road and into just kind of like an open area, and they drive down kind of into a valley, so that you are all just kind of surrounded by the edges of mountains and cliffs, kind of away from. You'd have to come into this chasm area to see you all, and they all pull over, and they kind of make a half circle formation with the 3 Humvees, and y'all come out of your Humvee, and then you kind of see, like, you know, a couple of grunty folks kind of pull out of the other woman's car, who you will know. Ace will kind of point at and be like, so heard from before, you know, that was Bex, and you know, she got my other commander Roach riding with her, and then in that one right there, and you see kind of like a very tall, muscular man, bald man, come out, and he kind of has that weird rat tail. He has a rat tail, and his jaw is kind of mutated in a way where it looks really kind of like rough and bumpy and green up from the bottom jaw. And he's like, that's Beans. And then you see kind of a short fella who's probably about 4 feet tall, with like large kind of muscular thighs and muscular arms, and just a kind of like a pompadour and a leather jacket over his fatigues. He goes, and that's Fallon. So those are the guys. They're gonna be watching over us while we kind of get ready, because, like I said, we're going behind enemy lines. I want to make sure that y'all are fit and ready to roll. And so this leads us into a training montage where, you know, you
Real
each
quick, can Pug do like either a persuasion or intuition roll to figure out if hold on, I have a list. Bex, Roach, and Fallon are down for an orgy.
You forgot Beans.
I wasn't sure about Beans. I'm ambivalent on Beans.
Oh, you're leaving
I'll warm
Beans
up to
out deliberately.
Okay.
Yes, I had a list. I had check marks.
Let's see. You said Roach, Fallon, and Bex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion roll, and then I will have you roll.
Can I just say roll for orgy as a first?
Oh yeah, we're about to roll for orgy.
I got a 6.
Wow. Yeah, they're all into it.
I know what my montage is gonna be. We are gonna have to cut to black.
Yeah. But yeah. So you know, you kind of go over to them kind of while everyone's kind of mixing together and they're setting up camp, and Ace watches you talk to them, and from afar, kind of like has the gist of what's going on, and isn't quite happy, but you know, he doesn't decide what his, you know, mercenaries get
Pug's
to do.
putting out the vibe.
You just see Pug like twirling her mohawk and flexing with like the other arm, and then she'll switch twirling in the other direction and then go back to flexing.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, upon sleep time tonight, there will be there's a known orgy in this camp, and I will say that Beans
Oh.
Beans you know, understands. He isn't hurt.
I will also say that I only have 1 HP because I didn't fully heal, so like this has to be a gentle orgy, please.
I did give you a tonic, just so you know.
I think that just took me up to 1. I'm low. I'm very low.
Well, we'll just say that you got patched up, you know, before we head out, and everyone's back at full HP. And
I'm just hitting on them, like swaying while I have a concussion. Just like, all 6 of you are hot talking to 3 people.
Spade sees Pug flirting with the 3 of them, especially Fallon, and is like, he's literally me. Like, what does he have that I don't? I'm really confused. He has the pompadour, he has the leather, like it's like looking in a mirror. Like, I already don't like the guy because what does he have that I don't have?
Spade, I'm sorry. It's the calves. Look at the calves.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm more of an upper body guy, if I'm gonna be honest. I would kind of, yeah, maybe I skip a leg day or two, but that's also when I'm working on my, my picking and my fingering. So it's like that should get me some points.
Don't let it get you down. I hear they're genetic. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
I
the
just don't
try
get it.
hard energy.
Yeah, no, it's what is it? Fallon is Eagleton Ron, and I am Ron Swanson. And Eagleton Ron is just so like chill and just like no fucks. And I'm just what? I just don't get it. I'm just staring daggers at him, and he kind of just looks back at me with a smile.
Oh, so yeah, this after that encounter leads us to our training montage, and this training montage is pretty involved in the sense that we see that we see that Fallon is running our friend Spade through the ropes of guns and kind of showing him how the gun works to the chagrin as this tension builds between the two, and it's almost as if
I think I'm taking some practice shots and working on like my aim down range with my new repeater, and I see Fallon in the distance, and I kind of just like
he's next to you.
I make a bad. Oh, he's next to me.
Yeah, he's training you. Don't worry, because because while you're aiming your gun, Fallon leans over and he's like, "Hey, buddy, look, all you got to do is imagine someone you really hate, okay? I want you to picture the face of someone who's really, getting a cut of your jib, grinding your gears, and I want you to take a shot."
I get it. I shoot high. Damn it! Get out of my face!
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be in your zone. These thick thighs are just so rippling. They just can't.
Yeah,
He just sounds like a cricket when he walks away.
But I'm gonna stand back here and watch you shoot.
Yeah, there's no Balmex in the Old West, man.
Yeah. And as he steps back, Spade takes a shot and just in 3 in a row just beans the cans. Yeah, good job, buddy. The way you tighten your glutes is admirable.
I end up shooting like really precisely, like almost doing a carving, like an engraving of what Fallon's face ends up looking like. And then the last one is just a hole through the forehead.
Wow. Can't quite make it out, but that guy looks kind of familiar.
This guy.
So we cut over to Fish, who is sitting with Felicia, who is also a techie, and kind of with her legs crossed, she looks at you, and Fish's legs are crossed as well, and as you face each other, she looks at you and says, "Tell me about a time you've felt the most at peace."
Well, usually when I'm sitting by myself after getting beat up or otherwise publicly ridiculed, and I leaf through the pages of my book, which I only learned to read recently, I feel very calm.
I see. Tap into that. And whenever you want to use your tech powers, remember, come to this place. It'll protect you while you use your powers. And you feel that energy surge towards you.
Yes, it's happening.
Yes, you wiggle a pencil. It looks like rubber. So you have Jenny kind of sits outside, kind of seeing everybody kind of leave to their respective thing. And you know already that, kind of like techie, witchy folks are often kind of cast aside, and people fear them because they know of your power. And Ace is kind of comes and he's like, hey, you're actually one of the first kind of witchy folks we have, and I was trading, along, one of my trading post runs, and I picked this up because it seemed interesting, but it seems like it kind of would do you better. And he hands it to you, and it is a journal that once held by another witch-like person, kind of like who went on a journey of their own and kind of tracked, the different things they did to push their powers and things they've learned about people, relationships, and such. And, I'm not sure how well you can read, but it doesn't matter, because the moment you touch the pages, you link with this witch-like person, and all of the knowledge that is put in that book is now within your head, and you've kind of get to see the fate of this person's life, and you see how they've started on the eastern coast of these lands and kind of catched rides on the railroad and caravans and made it through, the relationships they've had, people, the times they were cast out. You've seen that they had a love who was just murdered in a shootout that they seem to have lost, and that person felt guilty because they asked about their fate, and through their vision saw the fate of them winning, and for some reason it did not turn out that way, and this person has spent the rest of their life kind of afraid of their own powers, and eventually runs back into this person on the rotted west, where they've kind of bragged about before a fight, after seeing them talk with their witchy girlfriend, they were afraid that they would lose, so they kind of booby trapped the person's gun and took out the pin so it wouldn't fire, and that's actually the reason that their lover lost. And you feel the rage that flew through this witch's face as they hear the reason that their lover died wasn't through the lack of her own power, but through the cheating of another human. And you get to see the moment in which she ignites this person and watches them burn and talks about how they've taken everything for her. You've seen her walk up north to the coast, up to the land of the trees, and that's where it stops. And you don't know if it's because this person has passed on, or if that's just when they stopped recording. And that's the knowledge that rests within you from simply touching this journal. Then we cut over to Pug, who is just sparring with Beans, going blow for blow. And Beans is really putting a lot of effort into it. It seems like Beans might not have been truthful in saying that he wasn't hurt by being cast out of the orgy, but Beans underestimates the power of Pug, and you beat him, and you took offense to a late punch when the sparring session was called, and you beat this man to a pulp. And instead of reprimanding you for it, Bex kind of walks you through how to heal and repair these wounds that now lay upon Beans. And now, even if Beans was invited to said orgy, he would be unable to participate, as he is on the mend, laying in his tent. And as the day comes to an end and everyone feels energized, you all meet at the campground fire as Ace goes over what the plan is. And on the meta level, everyone has leveled up twice. Yeah.
I think Pug, when Pug sees everyone, is just gonna be like, "How was your day? I kicked the shit out of a spurned lover. What'd you guys do?"
I wiggled a pencil with my mind.
Wow, good job. I've done that with my hand before. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen a pencil. What is a pencil?
Doesn't really concern you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really happy for you. How about you, Jetix? What did you do today?
I saw the entire history of someone's life by picking up a book, and I know exactly what happened to them the entire life, and they had a lost love, and there was so much stuff, and it all happened, and now it's got to be inside my head.
You should try an orgy to kind of clean it out. I know.
Can I offer an
some
orgy
guys.
in these trying times?
I mean, I never thought about it like that, but it doesn't sound like I'm saying no.
Sort of floods the pipes out, you know? Sort of whooshes out the
Upon hearing
vibes.
orgy, Fallon kind of walks up and plops next to Pug and is like, "Oh, is it already time for the orgy?" I thought I got to finish eating these beans first.
Ugh. I think, honestly, I think Pug might be like, you know what? That was fun. I'm not really a like 2-night stand kind of person, like sort of a one and done. I just want to hang out with my friends.
Oh, okay. Well, who are your friends? How'd y'all meet?
Hey, she said get lost.
I actually think Pug is gonna go, like, I think Pug's gonna take a second and just be like, yeah, you know what? Like, get lost for now. I don't know. You were good. Maybe, no, get lost. Get out of here. I'm hanging out with my friends.
And Ace is going to lead forward and says, "Actually, no, you need to get here. We're going to go over the plans for the floodlands. So get everyone, and everyone kind of comes around the campfire."
I think Pug will at least sit. I think Fallon was like sitting next to her, and I think she's gonna move so that she's either not next to him anymore or is sitting between him and Spade, just like having a little bit of an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
She like sits down and like pushes them both away. Like,
They all kind of scoot away from you as you've reclaimed your space at this campfire. And Ace kind of looks at everyone and his kind of like, pretty calm demeanor. He's a pretty level-headed guy. He kind of gets a little stone face. He's like, "All right. Directly as soon as we wake up, we're going to get in our vehicles and we're going to head straight to the floodlands. We're about 45 minutes out. And when we get there, I can't tell you what's waiting for us. I can tell you that I will have a backup plan. There will be 3 folks waiting at all times by our vehicle. When I say we leave, we leave. Take what you can and get out, but we will leave. I will not have anyone die, especially not for some old tech, especially not for some money. Am I clear?"
Can I talk to my friends for a second?
Of course.
Sidebar! Our favorite.
Sidebar. All right. So Jenny pulls him to the side. Have y'all noticed that all these people seem to have these clearly thought out plans, like that they've been working on for months and months and months, or however long that they are, and they're trusting those plans to people that met in a bar one night? Like, none of that, just like, it's a lot of thought to put into a plan, and then take that plan and put it on the shoulders of people that you don't know and have had no training in this area.
Wait, so
I think Pug is gonna nod sagely and just go.
Ace, this is a sidebar.
Yeah.
This is a sidebar. Excuse me.
Yeah, but I can hear y'all. Y'all just met in the bar. I thought y'all were an outfit that was.
I'm
that were running
I'm
together.
just gonna take Ace's head as I do, and just pick him up and turn him down. And Pug is gonna stand there with her arms crossed and like nod sagely, like she's really considering what you're saying, Gen X, and just go,
I mean, and I totally understand that, and I give y'all that, but I'm just saying it's a little weird, and I feel like, especially that guy don't know what he's talking about, and he's just gonna trust us to all this stuff. Like,
I don't know.
who
He seems like
are
the most
you?
like competent person we've met so far, though. So
How confident are you if you're trusting people that you just met up off the street? I mean, that guy really needs a reality
yeah,
check.
we kind of are
You
just
can't
kind of
hear
a
me, though.
random
It's fine.
hodgepodge of people.
Point of order, I do feel like Gen X is the most competent person that I personally, Pug, has met so far.
Well, to be fair, I think our chemistry is pretty good. Like you saw when, Spade tossed you the axe and you impaled that guy, and we all won the talent show together. The vibe's all there. So I'm just kind of rolling with it at this point. I don't want to think about it too much.
This feels like a fake it till you make it situation where we seem like we're competent. How close is Ace right now? Can he still hear all of this?
Ace is definitely still hearing all of this, but he's giving you your privacy since you gripped his head pretty hard and he doesn't want to feel that.
Just like indentations, just like, all right. Okay.
I have an option for us to consider. What if we pretend to go along with what Scaff wants? Like, what if we pretend to destroy this tech, but what we're really doing is trying to save some for ourselves later? Like, that way, the Chosen end up leaving thinking that, okay, well, all this tech is gone. There's nothing to kind of worship over anymore. The Scavers leave because they're like, okay, there's no tech to be found and sold anymore. Bennett's, not going to be happy with us, sure, and Scaff gets off our back. And then we go back and we kind of have all this tech to be able to do whatever we want with when we check out later.
The fourth option sounds good to me. If there's really so much tech up there, then who's going to notice, a couple pieces missing? And that should be enough to make us all rich.
Wait, there's 4 of us. We can each do an option. One of us can destroy things. One of us... Eh? All right.
Are we running the option?
Is that a joke for me? Because I appreciate it.
It was.
Look, I've been pretending like I haven't been able to hear everything, but I do like that plan. I mean, you did have correspondence with Scaff, and you did kind of have a relationship, and it seems like
it's a pretty antagonistic relationship, I'm going to be completely honest.
I mean, it seems like every step of the way they've tried to talk it out and not just blow your face off, which is saying something for gangs out here. That plan
I feel like
might
that's
work.
probably where your respect for us comes from. Just the fact that Scaff has respect for us, and we don't even know where that comes from.
Oh no,
We
I
keep
planned on killing him
accidentally
on sight.
the guys. Oh.
Yeah. No, Scaff was going to be dead, but I respected y'all because I saw you punch someone's face into juice, and I saw someone else stab someone with a guitar. All right, sorry. I saw someone else stab someone with a ukulele. Fuck Scaff. That's what I respect.
I would also like to put an honorable mention out there for seeing someone take 2 telescopes and try to slam someone. That is a can-do attitude. I don't know if Ace actually witnessed that, but I will regale the story of Fish's.
Okay, now do something cool that I did too.
Spade was there, and I think it's important to have. It's like when you have extras in a movie, and it's like it'd be weird if there wasn't.
There's no small parts.
That's not true. Spade literally saved my life, and together we are
The
big fish. Real big fish.
But you literally are small, though. Like, you're literally small, so it all works out. Like, everything is on your level.
I thought
Thanks
you
for
were going to do
reminding
that cute thing where you combined your names and it was Spug. Spug's a good name.
Spug works.
Spug. Oh, I thought you meant Gen X and Fish too, and I was like, I feel like there's some like all 4 of us together.
Jish? We could be Jish
Spug Jish.
or Fix. What?
Spug
Did you say
Jish.
spell it? No, I thought you said spell it.
Spug Jish.
Yeah.
Spug. Oh, okay.
Jenish.
Yeah,
Jenish.
I'm now knowing. Spug Jish. Yeah.
We'll
anyway.
workshop it.
Yeah. Anyway. We'll back you on that plan. I mean, if we can get in to their base with less guns blazing, or at least finesse Scaff's gang to help us take out some of these, Children of Cain, I think we're in business. The more guns, the better. And he walks away with an urgency of someone who has been desperately trying to leave a conversation.
It is funny that we did physically remove him from the conversation. And now he's
that was
like,
just on him. He stuck
awkward.
around.
Yeah. They wouldn't stop talking to me specifically. Well.
So at this point, when you all return to the campfire, you kind of see kind of Bex, Fallon, Roach all kind of sit around, but they're kind of wrapping up, and everyone says their goodbyes, but Roach kind of stands by, and he kind of sticks around, and he's like, hey, I just kind of want to get to know y'all. I'm kind of new. I'm one of the newer guys in this whole mercenary
How'd you meet
group.
everyone?
Well, I used to be a guy. I used to be a guy who like worked his way up. Didn't really have much, so I was kind of helping out for pennies here and there at the trading post, and then I got a job for a local messenger. So I really don't have my own car. I don't know how to drive, so I would just kind of travel between town on foot, and I just kind of did it. Too much, and in the hot sun during a summer month, I exhausted myself, fainted, and woke up, and Ace found me, and I kind of told him, that it was what I did for money, and so he kind of took me in, and I've been real excited to help out since. I usually move all the weapons, but this is kind of like the first time I'm actually like able to do a whole mission. I killed a guy once. But
Wow, congrats. How did you kill him?
Well, I took a shot, right? I took a shot with my 6-shooter, and I missed and shot a horse that kicked him in the head and killed him.
Wow, that is
like a combo wombo.
Yeah. Yeah, so many more, many more. I'm excited. But Ace was telling me about how you guys was stopped on the road, and y'all really kicked the asses of some of those guys, and I don't know, where do you come from? What are y'all all about? I mean, I know we all heard you talk about just meeting in a bar and not liking Ace's plan, and it was real funny seeing Ace kind of get picked up and turned around because I've never seen that before. But what are y'all all about?
Well, I guess my whole thing is that I'm a nationally known rock star, and really in demand at a lot of venues, and I just found myself at the right place at the right time to get picked up by these guys.
Everyone kind of wants to get money, I would say.
I will say, actually, I think Pug will hear you say that and will go, I'm not that into the money. It seemed like you guys were really into the money, and I just thought it was cooler than just being into you guys. So we're not, I don't know if we're
you said into us, into all three of us equally.
Spade, okay, Pug is going to just take Spade for a second.
Yeah?
And just go, I do respect you. I honestly think we might do this as an aside. I actually think Pug will be like, Spade, can I have a word with you?
Do you want a sidebar?
Yes, we're gonna do a sidebar party of 2. I just do want to say thank you for saving my life. I have never had someone do that before. You're responding too quickly, and it's like a thing in a conversation.
Yeah, I can slow down. For
You're
sure.
doing it again. Okay. I do.
What did you want to sell? Yeah, what did you want to say?
Okay. I threatened to stick one of my socks in your mouth to make you stop talking, but I think you'd like that too much.
I'm not going to respond to that one because I just don't think the answer you'd like the answer.
It's happening again. I have never had someone, thank you, save my life before. That's not something you really do when you're a brawler, it's not something other brawlers do for each other. And I did just want to say that you are terminally horny. And that is something that you need to work on like a personal level. But I appreciate you and what you did for me. And I hope I can make it up to you. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take my time and, like let my instrument speak for me. And that's how I respond to that.
I honestly think instead of like responding with violence, I think Pug is just gonna like push through her incredible discomfort and just be like, thank you. Thank you.
I'll make my presence worth your while, I promise.
The sentiment's there, it's just the phrasing is so uncomfortable. We'll work
I'll
on
always be there for you.
Okay. Okay. And we're moving towards normal. We're orbiting chill. And that's a start. I would love to end this sidebar before you have a chance to say anything
Sidebar
else
closed.
weird
Sure. Yeah.
to me.
Hey.
Again. Cool.
Excuse me. I wasn't listening or anything, but can you go back to the one line before normal, like about 2 sentences back? Because I didn't, not that I was listening.
I think what you're looking for is terminally horny.
Okay, thank you. Go back to your conversation.
I think Pug will rejoin the group, and then.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna take a second and go off on my own.
Pug is going to do that thing when you're like out in public and someone's making a scene and you just concentrate so hard on not having peripheral vision, where you're just like, I have no vision outside of the central cone of what I can see in front of me. But Pug will clap Roach on the back and be like, surely I don't probably need any introduction, but what I'm about is fighting. If you've ever made it over to like the old Denver region, you've heard Pug's name. Pugmug, I was like the main fighter in the corners over there. Come on, you ran back and forth. You don't recognize the teeth? They're filed into a point.
Everyone's talking about how they want money and stuff like that, but like, who are you? Where do you come from? What are your wants and desires? Well, I think we know what Spade desires, but what makes you you?
Roach, you're so sweet.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, out here in this world, we've gotten so obsessed with living day to day and day by day and trying to just stay alive that we don't actually take the time to get to know each other. We are only together as long as we can make a buck, and then we move on, or someone dies and we forget about that person. Well, I mean, half of us can't even read or write, so we can't even remember those that we've left behind. So that's why I ask.
I gotta say, your emotional vulnerability is it's really refreshing out here in the wasteland, and
I bet he took brain damage when he was like passed out in the sun, so I think it's probably like a we have to be nice to him.
Pug, I'm glad you broke the ice and said that you just kind of liked everyone's vibe, because I feel like I can finally open up a little bit about why I decided to come along on this journey, even though I could be crushed underfoot at any moment. I'd just really like to learn more about some of this tech out there. A guy like me doesn't have many chances to forge out on his own and find success. And when I heard that we might be looking for some tech out here, I couldn't really resist. And also, I've never really been part of a group before. Everyone usually kind of slaps me like backhanded, or kicks me in the groin or something similar. So it's been about 36 hours since that happened last, so I'm, feeling all right.
I think Pug's gonna clap you so hard on the back that it like almost counts, like that maybe we'll reset to like days since incident goes back to 0, but she means it affectionately.
Well, I mean, you kind of worship the one thing most people blame for ending the world that we knew before it, and you're a techie, so you can read in people's brains, so you're probably thinking about what we look like naked.
Yeah. Gotta hear both sides,
Libertarian ass bitch. No, I'm just socially liberal and fiscally conservative.
Some
There's
people.
Nothing that's rung more true for me than Fish being a libertarian.
Y'all ever hear of this QAnon? It was from before. Oh no.
All I'm saying is, the written history not many people can read, and I want to go see for myself.
All right, well, you'll be able to see firsthand.
You gotta find your own facts here.
Yeah.
I'm a truth seeker.
Yeah,
I don't know why you now sound like Roach. Sorry.
Just to play devil's advocate,
How have you? I think Pug wants to get to know everyone better. So Pug is gonna ask you, like, how have you survived as long as you have? Like, not a threat, just a comment, but Fish, like, you need a group to live in the wasteland. So what have you been doing this whole time?
Mostly,
I'm back. I definitely want to hear this too.
Mostly staying out of the way. If you remember correctly, I actually was trying really hard to avoid eye contact back at the Permex pub.
I kind of read. I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, most everyone who has their limited social awareness still intact in the wasteland kind of respects that. I don't really have anything to offer. Don't really have any
As
goods.
You're saying this, Pug is going to take out a file and start like thoughtfully filing her teeth into sharper points again. Like,
and when need be, I can write. I can read and write, so I've gotten out of a couple, you better do something nice for me or I'll kill you right now, by just writing a nice letter or something.
When you do the like act out, Pug is gonna act like really like surprised, like, oh, that sounds so scary. Speaking of which, now that you leveled up reading, do you know what the title of your book says?
Oh.
The book that you found, I know, said like baby in 3 other words.
There was the word baby in there. I haven't thought to look at it since I studied a little bit more. Do I have to roll to ascertain what the title is, or can I just read it now?
You said you learned? Yeah, no, you can read.
Yeah, one skill.
It's the Babysitter's Club.
I spent so much time in between sessions trying to like figure out what it would be.
It was the Babysitter's Club. Baby was the only word you were able to read before, and now you read the Babysitter's Club, and specifically, Goodbye, Stacy, Goodbye.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe the Granddad Society was pretty primitive. It seems kind of fucked up to sit on babies, so.
Well, yeah, also you just found a funeral dirge for Stacy. Like, clearly they honor their dead to great lengths.
It seems to be a morbid society, but this is why, I'm digging in to learn more.
But I think it's nice that they made a memorial book for her. I think it's like, that's a nice way to honor people, is to like keep all their club members like obituaries in a place.
Yeah. I don't know. Spade, I know you also, you seem so into the Granddads too, and I just, what about them draws you to them? Is it just the music? I know for Spade it's the music, but is that it?
I mean, I think how the Granddads had so much figured out for them with the world of tech that they lived in, it did allow some people to create some really beautiful art, like pieces of art. And I don't know if we're really in a place where we can create so much. We're kind of just retelling the same stories, re-singing the same songs. Nothing is really new. Nothing is really coming about from our own thoughts, because we are focusing on just surviving. And there's so much free time that they seem to have had, that they created, and what they decided to use with that time was something so beautiful. I mean, the thong song is really just quite a work of art, and I don't know what else could top that. Yeah, I think that's just how I feel in general about them. But like everything else, yeah, it's like they fucked up pretty bad.
But the reason why we can't tell, the reason why we don't have the ability to tell stories is because we're so busy trying to survive because of them. And that doesn't that make you hate everything else that they've made?
I mean, I'm pretty specifically just about the music of it all.
That's fair. Okay, separate the art from the artist. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can interject, I mean, you can blame the old granddads for the event, but I think we have to take the onus on us for not trying to preserve anything. Sure, we had to survive, but at what point did we choose to forego everything we knew and be our own type of monsters out here?
I think... Yeah, I think Pug is just kind of like wrestling with that because as someone who grew up in a brawler family, only really knew utility through like how much money can you make rich people by fighting and killing other people. I think she's probably going to kind of like sort of step out of this conversation because she feels very unprepared, doesn't have experience in talking about like in art or any higher purpose outside of like violence.
All right, I can tell when I might have harshed the vibes. I'm gonna go to bed. See you all in the morning. It's gonna be fun.
Bye. I want to before we go to bed, I do want to just like Pug does want to just kind of turn to Gen X as well and just be like, thank you for asking me to protect you the first time we ever fought together. No one's really asked me to do that before, and I appreciate it. I don't know a lot about Witch Lake. They don't tend to make it up to Old Denver way, but I don't understand what you do, but I love that you do it.
I think the thing is, you and me, we get along so well because both of our bodies are basically the weapons. Like, we don't need weapons because we are weapons, right? And so if I can use your weapon to protect my weapon to then turn around and protect you and our friends, then it all works together and it makes us a super weapon.
Oh, synergy. Pug will say that word, but she does not know what it means. Just which like floats into her mind. Pug will ask, like, is it ever scary to you that there's like, you have proof that there's some sort of spiritual world beyond ours?
You know, I think in a way it's kind of peaceful. You have this comfort of this thought that no matter how wild the world is or how out of control everything seems, you have something that can bring you just a little bit of peace in all of it. And no matter how much stuff has been destroyed, you've got that hope of it inside, and it helps you get through the days a little bit because you know that there's just something that's given all of us this spirit and life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I think Pug will just kind of sit with that for a second, and I think she'll probably just like mouth like hope under her breath and be like, yeah, I'll think about that. Maybe I'll try to like harness that next time I liquefy a guy's face, or maybe when I'm not doing that too. That was a reference to violence, not the orgy. It's really hard to tell with me.
And just for clarity,
play-by-play there.
Y'all don't have to go to bed just because Roach kind of ran off. This is y'all's time to kind of talk with each other, and when y'all are ready, let me know when y'all choose to go to bed.
Fish, I want to apologize. I feel like we've kind of gotten off on the wrong foot. I know how eager you are to kind of have this this unity, this kind of camaraderie, and you know, I'm a lot more of a lone wolf, as I've kind of described before. It's kind of how I just, self-identify, but I'm starting to learn how to live with the pack, and you're a valued member of the pack. So I kind of want to hear a little bit more about your story. Like, First off, fish. Like, what's up with that?
Wow. Well, first, might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you.
Don't push it, dude.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, you see, growing up, I didn't really have any parents. I just got by on the good faith of strangers, mostly the bad faith of strangers, because they would all kick the shit out of me. But I found, I sort of found my way in books, even though I couldn't read until very, very recently. I would just look through picture books, and I saw the creature that I'd never seen before, and I carried it around with me, and I asked everyone until someone said, "That's a fish." Later learned it wasn't. It was definitely a dog, but I really liked how that name sounded. So, I had really nothing else to identify with, so that's where fish came from.
Dogfish. Fish dog. That's so sweet. I think Pug will actually also take an opportunity really quickly to be like, you know what, Fish, I don't know if I said this directly to you or just sort of like rolled it up into an insult so that I didn't have to be vulnerable, but I really was actually impressed when you tried to beat a giant guy with like a huge arm of pure muscle with a couple of telescopes. It was stupid and had a total lack of self-preservation that I deeply respect.
Well, thank you. I did, I think I broke his knee. He screamed pretty loud. I kind of almost wish I killed him, because now I know he's hobbling around out there somewhere. I never really had much of a taste for bloodlust, but Pug, you've really inspired me to, crave violence just a little bit more.
The trick is that you don't want to kill him because then he can't suffer. So going for any sort of ball joint like the hips or knees or the shoulders is the best part to do it, especially if you get him like right in the patella and it shatters, because then he'll be in agony for months and he won't be able to, and he'll never be able to feed himself again. And he'll go out into the desert and his friends will leave him and he'll starve to death, which is what he deserves.
I think we might have a lot to learn from each other. All I can tell you in exchange is you asked me what a pencil was earlier. I responded with a snide comment. A pencil is a small stick that you write letters and shapes with.
Could you kill someone with it?
If sufficiently motivated, absolutely.
You could.
I could. Wait, what was that movie where someone did kill someone with a pencil? Did that happen in
Batman.
John Wick?
John Wick.
There's both
like-
Batman and John Wick, yeah. Dark
Okay.
Knight and John Wick.
Okay.
The original one, specifically.
Oh, through
Um,
the eye. Sorry, that's not important.
And then there's the Joker's magic trick, yeah.
All right.
Oh, no.
If I have to share any more about my backstory, I might start to cry, and I know that y'all hate that and don't reward any sort of emotional vulnerability in this party. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off to sleep.
I think just before you do go to sleep, I do want to, we are at a campfire, and I feel like it's appropriate to at least let you go off to bed with a nice tune in your head. So this one is in honor of Pug really, exposing, her emotions to us and showing us the respect that I think we all deserve. So this one goes out to Fallon, actually. And it goes a little something like this. Whoa, I never meant to brag, 'cause I got just what I wanted now. Whoa, it was never my intention to brag.
No.
Steal her all away from you now. God, does it feel so good, 'cause I got just what I wanted now. And if you could, then you know you would. You gotta just feel so good.
While you're doing that, Pug is sitting
Wow.
there looking incredibly uncomfortable, and you just see her take out her butterfly knife and just do like a cool butterfly knife move, and then just slam it into her own thigh.
Fish is
By the way,
full on bawling at this point.
Just so you guys know, with my headphones on, I really can't hear if I'm hitting the right tune or not. I don't know if this is out of tune. I don't know how good this is gonna be.
It adds a folksy charm to it.
Oh, thank you.
Is
That tells
Fish
me
or
more than I
Owen
wanted to
saying
know.
that?
Both.
So if that was really, really bad, it's because I learned this song like 5 minutes before we started recording. and I haven't played the ukulele in years.
I mean, you still did good. Yeah. Don't be dogging yourself out.
So, yes, Pug just
I
stabbed
felt like the
herself in
song
the
was
leg
appropriate.
to stop feel emotions again. It was incredible. Annika loves it. Pug is in anguish. Pug feels
I think
better
as
now that he has physical pain to concentrate on.
As I'm playing, I try to meet Pug's gaze and just give a little wink.
Pug is staring like just so far into the fire, leaning into it. You can see her like eyebrows starting to sizzle. She's just so desperately not making eye contact with you. You smell burning hair, just like twisting the knife slowly in her knee.
All right, off to bed.
All right. As the moonlight shines upon these tents that rest within this chasm, everyone shuffles off to bed. Suddenly, you see Falcon shuffle out of his tent, pops his head into Pug's tent, gets punched, and shuffles back to his tent. As everyone rests and get ready for the day of hell that they are going to experience tomorrow. And with that, we're going to take a break. So the morning comes, and you wouldn't be able to know that because it's still quite dark out, but your tent shakes as you're woken up and shuffled out of your tent. Things are packed up. Roach starts to break down everyone's tent as everyone kind of runs over the plans again. And you hop into the vehicle and you head out. So you drive, you start to smell that salty air again. For a second, you forget that you're living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Close your eyes for a second. Think of a world that could be. And you cut away from the coast and you drive. And from the distance, you can see just wetlands. Wetlands and small islands that you think you can make out as you kind of crest down this road. And there's just the peaks of what would seem like a red bridge, but that bridge has water that meets it on the side. It has water, so you're not able to see under it. And you start to notice that there are vehicles in the distance, much too far to be worried about it or to actually think about it, but know that in your future that there's a lot of activity here. There's no longer yourself on this desert roads, different areas much in the distance, and you can't really see the vehicles, but you see the dust kicking up as they drive around.
Would Pug know if this bridge is this like a Granddad's bridge?
Yes.
Okay, and we headed north from LA to get here, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
I think I know where we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was once part of a golden state, some would say. But yes, you're coming across, and you notice that beyond that bridge, there are just makeshift kind of sheet metal kind of walls built around the exterior of these lands. And now that you're cresting down the hill, you're noticing that these walls are actually surrounding, and you can't really see inside anymore. And in front of that bridge, there seems to be just a gap. Let's call it a gaggle, but there seems to be a group of cars kind of just stopped right outside. And as you pull up, you see
Can I ask a dumb technical question?
Yeah,
Where
of course.
are we heading? Are we heading from Marin County down into San Francisco, or are we heading from San Francisco up into Marin?
Well, tell me, ex-Bay, resident, what is the correct way to enter so that you can see
my mind palace.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell us which way we would have to come. I knew the moment it was going to be the Golden State Bridge, you were going to say some shit. So why don't you go ahead and tell us
it's
what
not
part
it's
of
not
San
the bay. It's like the islands now. It's the floodlands. They're all like, I think the city of San Francisco
Oh yeah, but
is island now, right?
But there's always a common mistaken way that people enter San Francisco in media, because everyone wants to show the Golden Gate Bridge, but it actually isn't the bridge you take into San Francisco from LA. Yeah, you go through that big ass white one that has all those toll bridges.
I
the one on the Warriors letter.
Yeah. So yes, you are very correct. To the Golden Gate Bridge, you have because of the damaged roads, you had to come up through Stockton and through Sacramento, and then the time passage.
Pull up a map.
Yes, I did.
You go through Alameda County.
Yeah, you wouldn't know this, but you drove through Stockton, Sacramento, and came down through Santa Rosa, and now.
I mean, if you really did your research, if you know that we'd hit the Silicon Valley before we get to San Francisco,
luckily for you to know that it is in San Francisco. All this shit is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because even though all of tech works in Silicon Valley, they live in San Francisco and have displaced lost many long-standing families and communities
Excuse
just to
me.
live in a hip city.
What's up?
Excuse me. Listen, I know y'all can describe it all that way, but can you tell me in terms like a burnt down KFC or like what's on this corner, or if there's like an abandoned Kmart on the side as landmarks so that I can get around properly?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can make out, but from the distance, you think you saw a burned down building that said Potley. You don't know.
It's like a burned out Soul Cycle because it's San Francisco.
Yeah.
Where HQ was
Olay,
where the bomb fell.
Olele, Olele, and Potley. Those are the words.
What do you
Turn
think
left. Turn
Andrew
left
Green
at the
was?
Olay.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who's still trying to figure out what the Permex pub was at the beginning of this
Super Max.
Damn
Okay.
it! I knew it was a reference, and I was like, I'm not getting this, and I'm so mad.
But yeah, so as you get to this area, and let's just say because it's the other bridges don't exist. It is the only way into this town, which is why it's so heavily guarded. Actually, that makes both logistical and lore sense, because it'd be hard to guard a place with that many entrances. The only bridge in is the long-standing Golden Gate Bridge. But you wouldn't know that. You just know it's a big fucking red bridge with water up to the side. You can't even tell that it's weird that water is up to the side of the road. But as you go up, you see 7 individuals kind of outside of the front of the bridge. And they're kind of sitting in the way that you could tell they're trying to figure out a plan. They're not guarding it. They're just kind of stuck there, but they all turn as they see you drive up. And you notice 2 of the individuals.
Do we know who these people are? Like just like their affiliations yet?
No, you don't know their affiliations. They look like any outfit, so you wouldn't know. But you do notice that 2 are standing when they turn around. They do grab their hip, so you assume that they have a gun on their hip, and the other 5 seem to start grabbing bats when you come. Just not in a.
I'll raise my repeater from the window.
Pug is just gonna wave.
Okay.
Just as like a I'm not aiming. I'm just kind of like.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Holding it sideways just to show it off.
Just hold it out the window. It's like we have guns too.
Yeah.
You damn right we do, and Pug
Okay.
flexes.
So as you pull up, the two people holding guns. One seems to be she kind of has 2 pigtails, and she's kind of in a kind of tank toppy situation where you can kind of see like scars along her body. She's someone who has been in many a fray, but she has kind of like those like what's the one I'm thinking of? It's like that biker, like that leather biker hat, and she has the leather pants. And the other guy next to her is a large man with the sleeves cut off, leather jacket as well. Just truly, in another world, they'd be at Folsom kind of vibes in their in their outfits. Little Easter egg for Annika there. And the freaks. If you got that, you've exposed yourself. But they when as you get close, they're waving you down. And all right, that's about far enough. Hey, stop. And the Humvees stop next to each other, and Ace is like, all right, hold on, let me handle it. He steps out. Hey, how you doing? We're with the Coastal Accord. Might have heard of us. What's going on? Like, what's good? Yeah, no, we're 2 buddies here. We trying to get across this, but you know how it is. It's pretty locked down. So we were sitting here trying to figure out how we were going to sneak up in here. Maybe were y'all just planning to just drive across like the children of Cain was going to let you in?
Pug is leaning her head out the window, listening to this conversation, and just starts like nodding. Like, yeah, that was the plan.
Is that who you guys are? You're the children of Cain?
Nah. We're the Wandering Warriors. We kind of like going around. We heard about that big cachet in there, so we wanted to, try and get at that ourselves. And Ace like, yeah, we're gonna just bust in. We're gonna do what we can to try and bust this out. But actually, we're trying to meet. Did y'all? Weird question. Did y'all meet some fella called Scaff? Scaff? One big armed weirdo going around busting everybody's heads? Nah, like we haven't seen him.
Mm-mm.
But did y'all want to quite possibly team up?
Again, y'all. Again. So, sorry. It's none of your never mind. It's not your problem. It is something. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. But we're not going to go into that. And it was a whole nother conversation, so I'm not going to bring it up to you. But I'm just letting you know that if we gave it any more thought, then you need to give some more thought to. I'm just saying, good gracious.
Ace turns around and is like, "Okay, I don't know who these guys are, but they're trying to team up. I'm gonna say no, but since we're all in it together, I think we go to a vote. Do you want to team up with these guys, or do you want to look for Scaff?
Can I do a roll here to use my reveal skill to see if they're lying about their affiliation in particular?
Yeah, go for it. Their affiliation? Yeah.
Yeah. I rolled a 6.
No, they're not lying. They are the Wandering Warriors. That is who they are.
I mean, the more the merrier. If they are who they say they are, and we're just trying to bust in here, then, we could at least put them in front of us so they die first.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe more like let's have 2 different sneaky plans, and they're like the less sneaky ones, so they get noticed, and then we're the more sneaky ones, so we don't get noticed, and we just end up using them as cover.
Is there a way? Hold on. Not to be the like D&D party that over engineers it, but could we get under the bridge and sneak through the bridge scaffolding? What do you think?
I think it's
Ace?
underwater.
It's submerged.
It's
submerged.
fully.
Yeah.
And we can't hold our breath that long, just super quickly.
No.
Some of us trained up in Old Denver, we have lung capacity, but I'm sensing there's a lot of cowards in the outfit. So okay. Plan B. We'll kill everyone.
My mutation is that one lung is actually half the size of a normal lung, and the other one's just gone.
I can breathe into your mouth, and then immediately Pug is like, I should.
Okay, I mean, if we have to.
No.
Look. I will say, if this all goes our way, that is just the more money that's going to be split, and that's what I'm thinking about. Also, if we do this, then we're rushing the gates, and we're not doing this Scaff plan y'all came up with.
I want to do the Scaff plan. I want to tell Scaff that we're on his side, and then just double cross him.
Are any of us good liars? Let's be honest. That's true.
Okay.
Fish does have a way with words. Sort of, it's more of a pathos-inspiring thing, but it works.
So Ace kind of looks around and nods at everyone, kind of taking in what's just been said. He's like, all right, well then, I guess that means that, we're going to tell these guys, no, it's cool. It should be fine. Last I know, the Wandering Warriors, they're pretty cool. They're mercenaries too, so they really don't have unnecessary killing instincts, if you know what I mean. So good. And he kind of closes the door back, kind of dusts himself off, turns around, and is like, hey y'all, we're actually gonna do our own thing if you don't mind. It was like, yeah, no, it's fine, we get it. But yeah, why y'all looking for Scaff? Maybe we'll tell you if we see him. It's like, well,
you know, we're working with him. So if you see him, tell him we're working with him. Let him know. They kind of get quiet and look around at each other. I was like, "Wait, you working for Scaff?" Yeah. Fuck Scaff and fuck you.
Roll for
damn
initiative.
Okay.
And we'll get to that battle on the next episode. Thank you for watching episode 3 of Old Rush, a Duster campaign. I've been your GM, Ify Wadiwe. Let's buckle up.